Welcome back, content creators, healers, old souls, and intuitors. For those who don't know, my name is Jay, and today we are back with another video. Now today I want to give you guys the truth about manifestation. And not only give you guys the truth about manifestation, but I want to show you guys how I am actually manifesting in my life. Well, the very first thing I want to give to you guys is the analogy of growing a seed. And recently I watched this video, and as we go by, I'm going to have this video up. And it's the video of a guy just planting a seed. But what I want you to know is it goes so much deeper than just a guy planting a seed. You see, we learn from life. Life shows us how to create. And the truth about everything is you have never forgot how to create. You have never forgot how to create the life you want. It's just sometimes you've been through so much big bang that the space for creation isn't really there. But today I want to bring to you guys the truth about it. So let's look at this video and let's look at the very first thing that this guy do. You see, the very first thing that he does is he create a foundation. He create a foundation, a solid foundation for his creation. He get the soil nice and ready. He get it nice and padded neat, and he get it ready so that it can start creating. And the second thing he do is he go in and he actually creates space for the seed he's going to plant. He creates space. He takes a little instrument, he stick it down into the ground, and he creates a lot of space so that he can plant his seed in later. And the next thing he do is he actually go in. He take his seed, he go in and he put it in the space that he creates, and he cover it up. So what I want you guys to know is the foundation that you lay in your life, the foundation that you bring to life is balance. A balance between your mind and a balance between your body. And a balance between your energy. You have to have balance between your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's the solid foundation. The second thing you want to do is you want to create space for your seed. You want to create space for what you want to bring into this world. Well, Jay, how do I create space? Do I go in the garage and start doing a garage sale? Do I go in the house and I start changing things around and make room for whatever I want? How am I creating space? So what I want you guys to know is you create space by going inward. Everybody take a second and close your eyes. Close your eyes and take your attention and place it right here on your heart space. Right here where you feel that your heart will be, and just be silent. Have you noticed how in the silence everything becomes nothing? It's almost as if there's just infinite space in there, like infinite nothingness. Especially when your thoughts quiet, it's just space. It's just space. There's nothing in there. It's just space. Space of infinite possibility. Space of infinite nothingness. You see, your heart center is your space. You see, the third thing you want to do is after that space is created, you want to go and you want to plant a seed. You see, what I want you to know is that guy would have never planted that seed nor created the space for it if he didn't already believe that that seed was going to grow into whatever he thought it was. You see, if he didn't believe that seed was going to be a sunflower, he wouldn't have planted it. He certainly wouldn't have created space for it. Why? Because he didn't even believe that it was possible. So planting that seed is saying, I believe that this is going to grow. I believe that this is going to happen. So the very act of creating space is already telling yourself that whatever I'm going to plant in here is going to be fertile. It's going to grow and come into life because I believe that it will. You see, when he planted that seed in there, he set his intention for his growth. He set his intention by planting the seed. So how do we set intentions? You see, what I want you to know is we got a useful tool that sometimes can be unuseful. And that tool is our mind. You see, our mind can come up with a million creative ideas. Oh, you know what, Jay? I want to open a new boutique shop. Oh, you know what, Jay? I love flowers. It makes me lovely. I want to create a flower shop. Oh, you know what, Jay? I love to cook. I want to create a restaurant. You see, your mind can come up with 1,000 different ideas that you can have for your life. But if that idea is not planted in a fertile space, it's not planted in a nutrient space, then that seed cannot grow because it will just stay a seed. You see, if that seed that he had wasn't planted in a ground, then it would have grown into nothing. It wouldn't have the possibility to grow. And if that soil wasn't fertilized, it would have no possibility to grow. You see, that seed that you have, it has to be planted in the space. So how do we do that? You see, when you say what you want, when you know what you want, when you set that clear intention, you then take that intention and you plant it in the heart. You tell your heart, you tell yourself what you want to create, and then you plant it and then you cover it up. You see, when he planted that seed and he covered it up, he didn't come back out the next day and move the soil and looked at it and said, "You're still down there?" He didn't check and say, "Okay, let me see if I planted it right. Okay, let me see, is it actually growing?" He didn't check and see if it was growing. But when you plant that seed, you got to know that it grows. And when you know that it grows, guess what? You see, that seed started to sprout roots. It started to sprout roots quick, actually, and it started to happen really fast. You see, you will naturally grow and become anything you plant in your heart. You will grow and become any seed that you've planted in this space. It will naturally happen just as that seed growing. I love to say, when we look around at the trees around us, do you think the tree wake up every morning and say, okay, you know what, guys? I'm going to try really hard to be a tree today. You know what? I'm going to try really hard to be a tree. Okay, watch this, guys. I'm a tree now. No, the tree doesn't try to be a tree. The tree is a tree, and it's naturally becoming a tree more and more and more and more. So who you are, the seeds you plant will be naturally what you become. But here's the thing. You got to make sure you are nurturing the seed. You see, that's the last step. You got to make sure you are nurturing that space. You see, that seed needs its nutrients. You got to come back and water it. You got to make sure it's right there in the sun. You got to make sure the seed has what it needs to grow. So what does that mean? That means you got to nurture this space. How do you nurture space, though? How do I nurture the space inside of me? Well, you got to sit 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. Take a seat. Take a seat and separate yourself from your mind. Separate yourself from emotions and just be in this space. You see, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So by just sitting in this space, by giving your attention to this space, you are nurturing it. You are telling it it matters. You are feeding more and more energy into it. That energy that you're giving to will make that space grow. And as that space grows, so will the seed. You see, right now, as you're listening to me, your attention isn't on that space, so it don't seem so big to you, does it? No, because your attention is elsewhere. But when you take your attention and place it on that space, that's the only thing you can see. It becomes so aware to you. That's the only thing you're in. You're submerged in it. It's covering you. So you are giving your energy to it. It's becoming more and more relevant in your life. So the more you go back to it, the more attention you will pay to it. The more you go back to it, the more stronger it will become, the more spacious it will grow. And because of that, the seed must grow as well because it's inside of that space. You see, as that space grows, that will begin to reflect itself all around you. People will come into your life. Situations will happen. Things will start to change in your life, not because you went out and did it. Not because you went out every day and you spoke in front of 50 million people and was all eager. No, not because you was happy every day even, but because you nurtured that space. It's reflecting itself. Because of that space inside of you, see, life will reflect any space you nurture. You see, some people nurture the seeds of their karmic cycle, and it becomes real to them. But I'm here to tell you that you can plant another seed. And not only am I here to tell you, but I'm here to show you. See, we have a new Becoming Magnetic series on my channel. And this Becoming Magnetic series is going to teach you not only how to create this space, not only how to set a proper intention, not only teach you about the sacred heart and the sacred mind, but it's going to teach you how to use all of these together, plant it in a space, and nurture it for a cycle of manifestation. You see, you're going to learn the truth to manifestation. Not only learn it, but actually practice these truths in your life. So I want you to pay attention to the next Becoming Magnetic video and be ready for this, because you've learned the 5 steps today, and now it's time to put it into action. See you soon.